What's going on, all you Star Wars enthusiasts out there? Your two favorite Jedi Masters are back tonight, and we're back to review the latest Disney Plus Star Wars series. It was directed by Leslie Hayland of Russian Dolls. It stars Carrie-Anne Moss and that wow boy from Squid Game. We're talking about the Acolyte.
And pull it.
That's right. These wild boys are back to talk more Star Wars, the brand new series in Disney Plus that just ended. First episode we talked about really has to do with this character and her twin. A Jedi ends up getting killed, so they're trying to figure out who it was exactly, and all has to do with these twins.
A darker tone for a Star Wars Disney Plus show, a much darker tone for this show, and a lot of elements that reminded me of The Matrix. And that was because in the first episode, of course, you have Carrie-Anne Moss's character there, literally doing moves from The Matrix, flying through the air. And, it just reminded me a lot of The Matrix. There was a lot of influence, obviously, from the showrunners here using the force, but flying through the air, using force push and other force powers. The Jedi were in this, but yeah, this Jedi gets murdered in it, and it starts the story of well, it's kind of a mystery at first, but you find out that there's twins. There's May and Osha. You're finding out about their journey and how when we meet with them in the beginning, they're little girls. And, by the end of the first episode, you find out that they're grown now. And that's who we have behind Logan there, the main character. And she's finding out that she has an evil twin sister out there. And the mystery goes on, and you find out that, the Jedi are being hunted.
From a visual standpoint, The Acolyte is a good looking show. The set design, costume design is really cool. They introduce a new Wookiee in the series. Some familiar characters and things we've seen in the past, but really the problem with this series, for me, I thought it was a lot of the writing, the story of this series. It just kind of lost me, and of course, all the lore too. A lot of things didn't make sense from previous Star Wars films, having to do with the twins, having to do with Anakin, and some more of the Star Wars lore that they just kind of shit on with this. A lot of stuff that didn't make sense in the writing standpoint of the characters, which kind of annoyed me and drew me out of the show early on. Going 3, 4 episodes in, it kind of pulled me out of the series just from the writing and silly mistakes that they had with that. But that's not taken away really from any of the actors or characters themselves. It's the way they're written and a lot of stuff it's not cohesive with the original Star Wars movies.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the tone was off. They were trying something different here with the Star Wars universe, changing the lore up, but the episodes just didn't flow very well together. It was like bits and pieces, some dialogue here and there, and then there'd be some action sprinkled in. And just overall, the tone they couldn't nail down. They couldn't bring any cohesion together. By the time that they showed you the villain, it was kind of done in one episode. Like you saw this masked villain come in and had an awesome scene where there's some lightsaber battles and whatnot, and they're trying to figure out who it is, and they reveal the villain like right away. So the mystery's taken out of it pretty much immediately. There's not a lot of mystery having to do with the villain. Has a very cool helmet that he wears, much in line with the villains like, Kylo Ren that we've seen. He's got the really cool mask. But, it's revealed. It feels like they kind of played their hand too fast and revealed the villain, took out some of the mystery. And that was like right in the middle of the season. So like there were still 4 or 5 episodes to go. And a big part of it that any Star Wars, movie or TV show, should rely heavily on the bad guys. And it felt like that was kind of taken away and revealed too early. And really, it came down to these two twins, Osha and May, trying to figure out how they were created and the whole story there. Yeah, I couldn't get into this series. I don't know. It would be really too slow at the beginning, and then we had an episode there where the villain was, and there's some cool lightsaber action and things like that. But the main story just didn't grab me as much. And I found myself kind of, not paying attention as much as I could, which is not usually a great sign, especially with something like Star Wars, because like all the other programs that we watch, Ahsoka, Mandalorian, like my eyes are glued to the screen. I didn't want to miss anything. And in this, it just felt like a show that like they made and it didn't have any repercussions on anything else we were going to watch. It felt like they were trying to do something different, and they had somewhat of a story here that they're going to tell, but they just couldn't make it a cohesive show, and it didn't have any impact for me, unfortunately.
Coming from a huge Star Wars fan, love pretty much every show they put out on Disney Plus. I thought Star Wars shows have been better than the Marvel shows. This one was just a stinker. Yeah, I'm with you. Like I just kept checking my watch, wasn't paying attention as much as I usually do. That's when the show's not that intriguing or interesting. And that's kind of how I felt. Even the first episode, I felt like something was off about it. A bit rushed and some of the writing was silly, but yeah, just never really progressed from there. They introduced a lot of characters. They didn't really end up doing anything for the series or the story. The Wookiee was kind of wasted, just a lot of wasted opportunities and all really having to do with the writing. The twins, want to kill one another, then it's all about loyalty, which doesn't make any sense. And just, more and more, silly errors they made with the script that was not cohesive with the original Star Wars movies that just kind of contradicted it. It really annoyed me and it just, yeah, it never really grabbed me as a show overall. So this one was a big disappointment and stinker for me. And I'm going to give The Acolyte, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 Carrie-Anne Moss hair pieces.
Definitely the weakest of the Star Wars show, without a doubt. The best part of the show was at the very end, the final scene, like a
Yep.
tease of what's to come. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything more that's going to happen with the show. It was critically, and audience members didn't like it either. I talked to a bunch of people, and 3 out of the 4 people that I talked to did not enjoy it, and me included. Yeah, definitely, it wasn't a good show, and couldn't see myself ever rewatching this. It just wasn't well done. They tried something different, so kudos to them. It just didn't work. I'm more intrigued by what's to come, though. Skeleton Crew looks cool from the trailer, so I think they'll get back on track. But yeah, I don't see the Acolyte continuing. It's kind of like a plan that they had to go with one season here, and unfortunately, it ended as a dud. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to give the Acolyte. What would I give the Acolyte? I just didn't enjoy it at all. So I'm going to go 1.5 out of 5 Carrie-Anne Moss hair pieces. Man, I really didn't enjoy this show at
I,
all. That's a bad score, but yeah, I just hated it.
Obviously, I didn't either. It took me how long to finish? What, 8 episodes? Took me a few months.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
Yeah.
started and I just get sidetracked with other better stuff out on TV and movies. But yeah,
Yeah.
total misfire in this one. Anyways, want to hear from all you wild Jedis out there. What did you like about the Acolyte? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite Star Wars show on Disney Plus? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to stay subscribe. Also, check out these wild Uncle Wookiees on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV, movie news and reviews.
So thank you guys for watching our review of the Acolyte. If you guys haven't already watched it and you watch this review, it wouldn't be a bad idea just to skip it. We're going to be honest with you. But if you have to see everything Star Wars like us, go ahead and watch it. Just lower your expectations. Make sure to pay attention to our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and X, where we always update the wild movie news and TV news that's coming out. It's been a wild summer here for these boys. We've been watching all the big summer blockbusters, having a great time, and it's the summer's winding down and it's heading into our favorite time of the year, the 31 days of horror that we start in September. Basically, we start watching all these movies and we review them for 31 days straight. We can't wait to come back with you guys, and I'll be with you for that. We're going to be back to review the next Star Wars show that's premiering on Disney Plus, The Skeleton Crew, which looks very cool from the trailer. Jude Law and a Goonies style Star Wars show. So looking forward to that. So hopefully that can make up for this dud of a show. So until then, in another galaxy far, far away, I'm Uncle. Henry Ann Moss.
And I'm Uncle C.C. DeVille. It was a house of horrors and 31 days of horrors.
Oh
Until
yeah.
next time, cheese.
Cheers.
Talk dirty to me.